So I just wanted to very briefly say something, just to follow up from my video earlier on. Um, I just if in any way it seemed negative, like I think it's just important to say, that today I've been I did amazing stuff on the electroacoustic that I intend to gig with through the little Ibanez amp and employing this chorus pedal. And I actually did something quite cool and had one good electric session whereby I used the Vox amp set up as both as a JCM 800 at one point and a JCM 900 at another point, and I messed around using departing from my usual tube screamer and trying out the clon at really low settings. Like a lot of these cork sniffer pot lickers do, where like the actual makers of the clones say, you need to wind this pedal up to get it to sort of like do anything, and to get it good, to make it worthwhile, and then you got these people that put like a tiny little dab of it in, like I do with the gain, like on a metal zone or something like that. And I've always found that amusing, but I actually sort of gave that a go today, and I kind of get it actually now. There is something to it. It's like you can just give something a bit of this sort of like raspy, nasally flavor, and it runs it like when it's running it, when it's just flavoring another distortion, it sort of makes it like harmonic, like it gives it sort of like a harmonic quality. It's actually it's quite pleasant. It's the sort of thing I can imagine Frank Zappa using, actually, like using like a tiniest dash of colon. So I've got an open mind now towards that. So like I like a lot of things. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm sure like a lot of the effects that we use, the actual FX makers like never intended for it to go the way that it has. So that was interesting today. That little learning curve, because I remember trying it out when I first actually had clone models. When I first got clone models, I remember trying it out then, but I didn't go in like I did today. I really went in, and like I was looking at it as a substitute for like the usual tube screamer, with a JCM 800 or 900, and no, it doesn't really work like that, but it is something different, and I could certainly see using it for solos and certainly single note stuff. And like I say, like for that sort of nibbly playing, where there's like very like you know what I'm saying, like very very short interval, like clusterfuck, playing Frank Zappa stuff, like that sort of shredding, which I love, and I really would love to be able to do. Really good for that, and like I said, it's got that harmonic quality. Now, what I mean by that is, like with an EBO, like with the Pro EBO that's got the two settings, and you've got the harmonic setting, literally like that sort of sound. I'll show you in a video at some point. I can't now; it's too late, and I finished my session and I can't do any volume now. I'm gonna have to transfer to headphones. All my headphones have died, so I've had to like jerry rig a fucking like thing of my my housemate's like PC gear, that like some Titanfall headphones that he doesn't use anymore, but they're not good. It's all very bassy and very wooden, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. Anyway, the rig I've just been doing like for the last few hours, I've got to show you, it's really awesome. So I'm using a stereo rig. Okay, so this is where I am. So I'm in this seat, right? Okay, and I've got at my feet, I've got that. And so I've got, the M13 with one like expression pedal, because I generally use one a lot more than the other, unless I'm like, there's a couple where I've like really built it to be like a two pedal setup, but generally I only use one. So I cut a bit of room by just using the one. And I've got like in the loop, I've got a full a full selection of drives. Panapoli, Panopolop. The old Super Cactus Jack Mick Foley fucking tube screamer, like Lord Medved fucking Jesus MOSFET clone, the Crunchbox like MI Audio clone, and a metal zone and a metal core like there, And well, like there's a lot more there than what you'd imagine. There's a lot more there than what the Metal Zone is actually set up for, like a warm, classic hard drive, whereas the Metal Core is set up to be an all-out, like grind, thrash, death machine. And like, yeah, so it's all very modular there. So it's like, it's around like really fucking cool. And I'm going into the orange on the left and the old Hohner 90s amp, the 30-watt thing on the right, and it works lovely. Sometimes I use the Marshall, but today I used the Hohner, and so I have this stereo spread, so it's really fucking remarkable. And so I'm sat here and like, I'm looking at this and drums from the keyboard and whatnot, and doing some recording, and like and like the guitars played, like Golden Goose, Yamaha, the fucking Conrad Strat and the Flying V, and happy as Larry. I had a good session on the classical today as well, and I had a good session on the little 3/4 in the open G, and so it was like a perfect fucking, after that, fucking ball ache rant like this morning. It was a really, really remarkable day of guitar playing. One of the most packed days and most inspired days for ages. It's just, I don't know, internally I feel a bit flat. It's like I feel a bit flat and a bit rootless. I'm just sort of like, having a period, and so, I'll be fine. I'll sort myself out. So probably tomorrow afternoon, maybe, or early in the morning, I'll do like, I think I'm going to do the Raptor one and the Humbucker one, get them done, and get them out to you. All right. Love to you all, and good night.